All right, Ravens fans, buckle up, because things are getting intense in Baltimore. This team has been on a roller coaster all season. And if you thought the storylines were only on the field, think again. It all starts with the big decisions looming over the roster. Isaiah likely has become one of the most talked about names in the league. Teams are eyeing him as a player who can completely change matchups. The kind of tight end who can pull defenders out of coverage and create opportunities not just for himself, but for the entire offense. The chatter is that he could end up with the franchise tag next season. And while that's only a one-year deal, it comes with a cap hit of over $15 million. Baltimore's front office has to weigh that against their other priorities, and right now, extensions for players like Travis Jones are on the table as well. Jones, a defensive tackle who has been catching attention across the league, is being compared to some of the top free agent defensive linemen in recent years. His ability to disrupt the run, his wide-bodied frame, and his presence in the pass rush make him an essential piece for the Ravens' defense. Yet, Baltimore isn't a team that hesitates to let key players walk if it makes sense financially or strategically. There's speculation about a contract similar to the deals seen in other conferences for years. $57 million, with guaranteed money still needing to be negotiated. The fact that these decisions are even on the table shows how much the team is balancing talent retention with salary cap strategy. It's a delicate dance. Because while fans get worried every time they see reports about potential departures, the front office has a plan, even if it means letting some big names hit free agency. On the injury front, there's also been a lot to unpack. Lamar Jackson returned to practice after recovering from a hamstring injury, but like any elite quarterback, even minor setbacks make headlines. Marlon Humphrey is out with a finger injury, which could have implications for the secondary, and Justice Hill hasn't been practicing either. The Ravens are managing a few bumps and bruises, but overall, they seem positioned to handle the next few matchups. The Browns, their next opponent, present a different challenge this time around. Cleveland has changed quarterbacks and play-calling strategies mid-season, which has altered their identity. It's a team that is searching for consistency, and Baltimore, despite its own ups and downs, has been able to stabilize and start to hit its stride as the playoffs approach. Baltimore's season feels almost like a separate campaign stitched together. Early optimism gave way to a rough patch, and fans were left questioning whether the team could recover. But the beauty of this sport is how quickly momentum can shift. The Ravens, after dropping some critical games, now find themselves back in the hunt for the AFC North, largely because other teams in the division have stumbled. Every game now carries massive weight. Losses aren't just disappointing. They can put a team on the brink of elimination. And that's the pressure Lamar Jackson and his teammates are living under every single week, even with the turbulence. There's been noticeable improvement. The defense, which struggled earlier in the season, has begun to tighten up. Turnovers are up. Points allowed are down, and even though the pass rush isn't elite yet, the Ravens have found ways to generate pressure and make opposing quarterbacks uncomfortable. Their approach has evolved. Rather than relying on individual pass rush talent, they're scheming smarter, blitzing more strategically, and using players like Kyle Hamilton in unique ways to confuse offenses. Historically, this has made Baltimore particularly dangerous against inexperienced quarterbacks, and that trend continues this season. Opposing teams that are still trying to find rhythm under center have to prepare for a defense that's aggressive, adapted, and unforgiving. Offensively, the story is similar. The line has had its struggles, particularly at the guard positions, and Lamar Jackson has absorbed hits that test even the most durable of quarterbacks. Myles Garrett on the Browns side represents a constant threat, and the Ravens coaching staff has had to design game plans that keep him from completely dictating the pace of the game. Every snap becomes a chess match, balancing protection schemes with the need to maintain the explosive playmaking that defines Jackson's game. It's not just about talent, it's about strategy, timing, and execution. Baltimore's offensive line may have weaknesses, but the offense still moves efficiently when Jackson has the ball in his hands, and the play calling complements his mobility and vision. This season, more than ever, has shown how critical adaptability is. Early losses could have derailed Baltimore entirely, but the team adjusted. Injuries tested depth, and opponents forced the Ravens to reevaluate schemes. Through it all, the overarching narrative is resilience, whether it's holding together the roster amid franchise tags and potential free agent exits, managing injuries, or recalibrating mid-season after setbacks for fans. This creates a fascinating storyline because every game is not just a contest on the field. It's a glimpse into how well this organization can navigate challenges while still chasing a championship. Looking at the Browns, there's a clear contrast. Their offense is still searching for identity, and changes at quarterback and play calling haven't provided enough consistency to make them a serious threat against a team that's beginning to hit its rhythm. Cleveland has dealt with injuries, but overall, they've been relatively healthy compared to past seasons. That could be an advantage, but it also highlights the gaps in execution and chemistry that have plagued them. For Baltimore, this matchup represents an opportunity to assert dominance within the division, to show that despite the rocky start, they can execute under pressure, and to prove that the adjustments they've made over the past weeks are paying off. Every facet of the team, from coaching to player performance, is under the microscope. The front office has to balance short-term moves with long-term planning, especially when it comes to players like Likely and Jones. Injuries test the depth chart and force creative solutions. The defense has to continue its evolution to contain opposing quarterbacks, while the offense must protect Jackson and maintain the explosive plays that make the Ravens dynamic. The stakes are high because every win counts, not just for playoff positioning, but also for setting the tone for the future of the franchise. The Ravens are a team in transition, in motion, and every week adds a new chapter to a story that could end with glory or heartbreak as we move closer to the Week 11 matchup. The spotlight shifts even more sharply onto the chess game happening on the field. The Ravens are no longer just reacting to their early season struggles. They're proactively shaping their identity. Game by game, Lamar Jackson, despite minor setbacks in practice, is the heartbeat of this team. And everything revolves around keeping him clean while maximizing his unique ability to stretch defenses vertically and horizontally. The offensive line has been under pressure all season, and the coaching staff knows that any lapse against a player like Myles Garrett could instantly derail their rhythm. Garrett isn't just a pass rusher. He's a playmaker who changes the dynamics of a game with every snap, forcing quarterbacks into uncomfortable pockets and punishing linemen who fail to adjust. Baltimore's protection schemes have had to evolve, incorporating slide protections, ship blocks from running backs, and quick decision passes to neutralize his impact. Meanwhile, the rest of the offense has been adjusting around Jackson's mobility. Tight ends like Isaiah Likely aren't just supplementary weapons anymore, they're pivotal pieces in stretching the field and creating mismatches. With the potential of a franchise tag looming, the coaching staff is balancing immediate performance with long-term development, ensuring that Likely continues to evolve into a matchup nightmare while maintaining chemistry with Jackson. This kind of attention to detail might not make headlines every week, but it's the foundation of a team that wants to compete at the highest level. Wide receivers and running backs are integrated into schemes that pull defenders away from the core threats. And even subtle adjustments, like motioning players pre-snap to reveal defensive coverages, have become crucial. Every play is a calculated risk-reward scenario, and the Ravens are embracing the complexity. On the defensive side, Baltimore has undergone a transformation since the early part of the season. Turnovers, which once seemed like a rare occurrence, are now being forced consistently, and points allowed per game have dropped significantly. Aggressive blitzing and creative defensive looks have disrupted opposing quarterbacks, and the coaching staff's willingness to adapt has been key. Kyle Hamilton's deployment in the box has created unique coverage schemes that confuse offenses and make them hesitate when teams are uncertain, even for a second. It can be the difference between a completed pass and a critical turnover. Rookie and second-year quarterbacks in particular have struggled to adjust, which has played to the Ravens' advantage. By putting pressure in unconventional ways and disguising coverage, the defense forces mistakes and sets up the offense with better field position. The Browns, on the other hand, present a very different kind of challenge. While they've maintained relative health compared to previous seasons, their quarterback situation has remained inconsistent, and their offensive line has had its own struggles. Dylan Gabriel, taking over under center, is still trying to find chemistry with his receivers, and the play-calling changes have produced mixed results. Special teams mistakes in recent games have only added to the unpredictability of their season. Baltimore's defensive coaching staff is well aware that while the Browns have talent, the inconsistencies make them vulnerable. The key for the Ravens will be to anticipate when Cleveland tries to exploit mismatches and respond immediately. keeping their defensive advantage intact. In terms of individual matchups, the battle in the trenches will be critical. Myles Garrett represents a consistent threat, and protecting the quarterback while maintaining offensive tempo is a high-wire act. Roger Rosenert has struggled at right tackle this season, and the coaching staff may need to shift personnel or adjust assignments to prevent Garrett from dominating the edge. The interior line, too, must hold up against a defensive front that's grown more disciplined and aggressive as the season has progressed. Every sack, every quarterback hit, and every penetration in the backfield has a cascading effect on the offense's ability to execute. And the Ravens know this better than anyone. Defensively, players like Travis Jones and the supporting cast have been pivotal in controlling the line of scrimmage. Jones, in particular, has been a disruptive force against the run while still offering enough pass rush to pressure quarterbacks into mistakes. Baltimore's front office and coaching staff are acutely aware that retaining this talent or finding effective replacements will shape the team's identity for years to come. Even with the looming decisions about franchise tags and contracts, the players on the field remain focused on execution. Their mindset is simple: win the game today, and let the larger organizational decisions play out behind the scenes. The Ravens' ability to stay disciplined and focused in these high-pressure situations is part of what has allowed them to rebound from early setbacks. Wins against teams like Cleveland aren't guaranteed, but they're attainable if Baltimore can manage the tempo, maintain efficiency in the passing game, and force mistakes on defense. The offense must remain fluid, with Lamar Jackson orchestrating plays that exploit defensive weaknesses, and the defense must continue its aggressive approach without overcommitting and opening up exploitable gaps. This balance between aggression and control has been a theme all season and will be decisive in the coming games. Another interesting angle is the psychological component. The Ravens have endured early losses that could have derailed morale, but the team has shown resilience. Each win rebuilds confidence. Each positive adjustment reinforces their system, and each player's performance matters in a tightly contested division. The AFC North is brutal, and Baltimore knows that any slip could cost them a playoff spot. The mental toughness required to navigate these challenges cannot be overstated. For a team that started the season with sky-high expectations, learning to handle adversity while still executing at a high level is just as important as the X and O's on the chalkboard. As the Ravens prepare for Cleveland, there's also a subtle but important advantage in scheduling. They've already faced the Browns twice before taking on the Steelers and Bengals, which gives them insights into tendencies and personnel matchups. Understanding tendencies on both sides of the ball allows the coaching staff to game plan with precision, exploiting weaknesses while shoring up areas of vulnerability. The Browns may have talent, but the Ravens' combination of preparation, coaching, and athleticism positions them favorably. Every nuance, from alignment adjustments to audibles at the line of scrimmage, could be the difference between victory and defeat. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Whispers are swirling through league circles after Baltimore made a surprising roster cut that few saw coming. The unexpected move has left insiders buzzing, and speculation is mounting that the front office is preparing for something big, perhaps very big, according to sources close to the team. The sudden release wasn't about performance or discipline, but strategy. Cap space has quietly opened up, and Baltimore's decision-makers are now sitting on financial flexibility that could reshape their roster in a heartbeat. No one inside the organization is speaking on the record, but those familiar with the team's philosophy know this isn't a random decision. Baltimore has built a reputation for calculated aggression, striking when opportunity presents itself, and now, with a hole suddenly created in a key position group, many believe this is just the first domino to fall. The timing of the move has fueled speculation that a major signing or trade could be in the works. Rival executives are reportedly on alert, sensing that Baltimore may be targeting a proven star to bolster an already competitive roster. Some agents have even hinted that their clients have been contacted discreetly in recent days, suggesting the team's front office is testing the waters before making a splash. Fans, as always, are reading between the lines. Social media erupted within minutes of the announcement, with theories ranging from a blockbuster trade to a reunion with a former standout. Whatever the truth, one thing feels certain: this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of something Baltimore's track record of moving decisively when opportunity knocks has many believing that the next headline could be even bigger than this one. For now, the city holds its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And around the league, teams are watching and wondering what exactly Baltimore is planning behind closed doors. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.